What's up guys, Harsh here, back in the video. So today I'm going to show you how you can assemble this heat sink that is for the Raspberry Pi 4B model. So as you can see that I have installed it inside the case, as you can see, and this is a pretty simple process. You can do it by yourself pretty easily, but you need to make sure that you follow the process very thoroughly, because if you damage your board, it is a very expensive board. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first of all you will obviously need your Raspberry Pi with this particular case, and then I bought a pack of heat sinks that actually came with the kit that I reviewed. So these are little heat sinks that go onto the processor, RAM, controller and the Ethernet port controller. First of all, we will need this type of heatsink. So this is the main processor heatsink and I will be only doing the processor, but if you want to cool the RAM or the Ethernet processor, the process is very same. You just take the back side of this double side tape and just stick it onto the processor. Then here is the case. This is a 3-piece case. So in what matters it's a 3-piece, so let me just show you. So the top panel comes off just like so, and then there is the middle and the bottom portion. So let me just snap it out real quick, just like so. As you can see there, this is the middle portion and this is the bottom portion. So it's a 3-piece case, pretty nice. Then we have our 3.3 volt mini fan with the necessary screws to attach it to the top of the case as well. Now let's start with the Raspberry Pi. So I will take the heatsink and I will peel this tape off and then just carefully place it in the middle of the processor, making sure that it makes full contact with the processor. And once you are happy with the fit, you can just press it in and make sure it doesn't move at all. And after a few tries you can get it very perfectly in the dead center, so you might not trigger your OCD. So now we can go ahead and place it onto the bottom plate. So this is a bit tricky, but you actually need to get it under this lip over here. As you can see that there is a little slot cut out over here, so it just goes like this underneath, just like so. And that was the mistake I was doing in the previous attempts. And then you can just take your top portion and then just slide it into place. It's a bit tricky stuff because you have to deal with a lot of tabs and make sure that they align perfectly. So take your time, don't hurry, because these boards are very expensive and if you break them it will also break your wallet. Okay, so now our middle and the bottom portion are done. Now we can go ahead and move on to the top portion. So this is the fan attachment piece given over here, and you can attach your fan in these manners. So let's just take out our fan, and you can have this fan in two configurations, either pulling air from the case or pushing air into the case. I would prefer the pushing air into the case method because it allows the air to actually go into the heatsink first and then go sideways. So you need to make sure that in what direction your fan blows air. So in my condition I know that it sucks air from this side and blows it out over here, so it will go just on top of like this and on beneath here. And make sure that you orient the wires carefully. So if the plate goes like this on the case, that means the wires need to be closer to the pins over here. So now let's just take our screws, and there are slight holes over here so that the screws will completely be flush with the top surface to get a very clean look. So that's pretty nice. So let's just put all 4 in, flip the case and then put our fan, and then use the supplied nuts to tighten them in place. So once it's all done, you can just take the connections or the jumper pins to connect it to the 3.3 and the ground voltage. You can look it up in the schematic chart, but it's very hard to determine it once it's in the case. That's why I'm not showing you how the connections are made. And once you are happy with your connection, you can just tuck these wires somewhere and then just close the case, just like so, and make sure that the wires are not getting in the way of anything. And there you have it, you have assembled your Raspberry Pi heating box. Okay, so now the case is powered on, as you can see, with the USB cable. So as you can see, the fan is now spinning, and this is a very quiet fan. You cannot hear some sounds when you are very close to it as even. So let me just take out the case. As you can see, the lights are now blinking, the Raspberry Pi as well, and the fan is also spinning. So there you guys, you have successfully assembled your Raspberry Pi heat case. So thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe and share.